Hello, hello. Here we are. Today I am going to go over some Webflow SEO basics and why you should be filling them out. I think one of the main issues that I see with DIY websites is the lack of SEO. And it's important to understand just the very basics of SEO, even if you're DIYing everything, because there are a couple of key things that you'll notice pop out if your SEO is not well done. So, as we go through here, we'll see this start to populate. And what this little box down here is, and it's great that Webflow does this, is they give you what the search result will look like. So regardless of what search engine you are using, we all type in the name of a company or a word or whatever we're looking for, and we get a whole bunch of results that have, a main section, the URL, and then kind of a little paragraph of information below it. So if you are not taking the time to utilize your SEO settings in Webflow for all of your pages that are searchable, and if you don't turn it off to be searchable, all of them are, you're really missing out. It's going to look just a little bit unprofessional and, may dissuade some potential customers. I will show you it is going to take quite literally less than 5 minutes to set up some basic SEO on your Webflow pages, and that way you're all up and running and you can be one step closer to being super professional while you DIY it. So, this screen here is the Pages screen. If you are not familiar with Webflow, I highly encourage you watch the university. But if you are just playing around and figuring out, so the Pages tab is over here. We have it highlighted currently. Under here you have a couple of options. You can see your pages that are already created. Heads up, password, and 404 will never go away. And depending on if you have a plan or CMS, these may or may not be filled out. But today we're going to focus on just creating a new page, which is this button here. So create new page. So we've done that. And what you want to name your page. So page name generally is the same as the slug. These can be different, however. So if you have a couple that are very similar, maybe you have two different projects or different storefronts that are pretty similar, you can have these names differ. Just heads up when you put that in. If you didn't want to call this home and you wanted to call it main, you need to change it right there. It is going to show up differently. So I highly recommend that whatever your page name is, your slug matches, just because it is more consistent, and consistency is key when you are developing web pages and you want to develop your brand presence. You want to remain consistent. So while you can change them, I don't recommend that you do. So that's the first bit of general SEO advice. And you'll see that the page name, the slug name, website.com/ whatever that is, shows up here in the search results. So, why is this important to keep concise? You don't really want to put Susie's Home Store as your page name for two reasons. First, it's really hard to type in all of that, and while we do a lot of copying and pasting and we have links everywhere, there are still some people that search by typing. So if you know of a brand that you really like and you're trying to search for something, maybe you've tried this trick before where you type in, webflow.com/store/university/blog, because these are standard categories and pages that exist across a lot of things. So the easier you make it for your audience to find you, the better. Keeping these page names consistent with what the general idea of big brands have in terms of store or blog or projects, those types of words, is really important, so that it stands out again as consistency. So now that we've gone over that, let's jump down and look over this little section here. So now we're looking at SEO settings. Well, I guess I should back up. Password protection is an option. So the reasons you might want to password protect, generally if it is maybe a work in progress for a client, or if there's some proprietary information stored out on the site, you can password protect it. Yeah, those are just two off the top of my head. There's probably a million other reasons, but you definitely, this is a free page I'm working off of, but you would need to add a site plan to do that within Webflow. So here, we're going to get to the main part of today's video, SEO settings and why they are so important. So while we're looking at that, let's, I was looking for the search engine and it's right here. Okay, so SEO, what does it stand for? Why do we care? I touched on it very briefly, but SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. In layman's terms, that means how you show up on the search engines of the internet. So regardless of what search engine platform you're using, this will help drive how you show up on the screen. So why is it important to fill out these two categories? The title tag, Webflow does a great job explaining this. It's the title page. So this is going to be here. So this is where if you wanted these things to be different and you didn't change your title tag, if you got rid of it, remember it defaults to the page. So if you did have your page different than your slug, different than your title tag, you can totally do that. It just makes for a big headache as you start to grow your page. So maybe you want this to say Susie's Awesome Store here because this is how you want to show up on the internet. And then we do home. Great. Now we know we've gotten to Susie's Awesome Store homepage. Perfect. Well, what does that mean? Oh, well, the meta description will help tell us what that page is all about and helps tell, more importantly, the search engine what that page is all about. So here is where a lot of SEO experts can really help you dive into utilizing these 155 to 300 characters in the best way possible. I am no SEO expert. Like I say with a lot of things, know just enough to be dangerous. But it is really important that you're using words that people would use and have used to search out the business or product that you're selling. So you want to be sure that this encapsulates not only what Susie's Awesome Store is, but uses kind of keywords that people would be searching for. So if Susie's Awesome Store is a t-shirt store, you'd want to say that here. You'd want to say, welcome to Susie's Awesome Store, selling all your customized t-shirt needs. Right? So if people are looking for customized t-shirts, now you're going to show up a little bit better. So you kind of get the idea. And again, hiring an expert will really help you utilize this space, but this gives a basic idea and you can see now how things start to come together. Oh, now when I show up on Google, people know where they're going and what I'm all about in a quick read. Really important to utilize SEO. Down at the bottom here, we have a little bit more information. The graph settings. So graph settings have to do with how you show up on social media. So they give the examples here of the social media platforms. Absolutely, if you are using those to market your product, I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you are customizing these. I think it's fine to start out with the same tag as the title tag, but make sure that you put in some sort of image. So you're gonna want to have a URL here that opens up an image and make sure that that way when you're showing on social media, it looks appropriate. So spend a little time there if you really want to dive out, but I think it's great to just start out and utilize this space and really utilize all of the characters up to 300 in this section of your meta description. So that is the basics of SEO. The other thing you can do is exclude pages from site searches along with passwords. The reason you might want to do this is, for example, the multi-link landing page that I'm hiding behind here. that is used for social media purposes and not really something that I want people to be searching out about my business. So I would exclude that page from a search engine result so that it's not showing up that particular page. So you can definitely do that as well. And last but not least, if you are really next level expert, you can put in some custom code that appears on this page. Doesn't always have to do with SEO, but it can make your page do some fun things. So again, you have to have a hosting plan that requires that. But truly, I just wanted to talk to you quickly today. You can see it takes almost no time at all to set up these SEO settings so that you have some sort of description and people are able to see your business. You look a little bit more professional, and now you start ranking a bit better on some of those search engines. That's all I have for today. Tune in for my next lesson on some Webflow DIY tips.